Greetings, fellow humans. I am Hugh.
And I am Man.
And together we are definitely not
Two
kobolds in a trench coat. We enjoy human activities, such as paying taxes,
Having existential crises,
and RPG horror stories. Let's see what we've got today. Today, we have a story about a DM who tries to force a player into being a slave, but not the kind who does manual labour. You're a slave now. Get over it. By Reddit user Sakura Khan. TLDR. I meet a group of players after getting my bearings back into D&D after my trauma story 3 years ago. They become friends of mine until I see the DM's true colours. My character has gone through trauma, and the DM decides to revise it to suit his own gratifications. I'm now no longer friends with the DM, and I'm happy to say I'm enjoying Dungeons & Dragons despite this incident. Trigger warning: small mention of not safe for work and strong language. Tried censoring most of them. Hi guys, first time poster and lurker. I'm here to submit a horror story that took place in September of 2023. I play a male half-elf fighter named Locke. His TLDR story is he was captured and branded by my PC's BBEG. Locke would fight their many battles for years until he found a perfect chance to escape. Prior to this, Locke is searching for the person or people responsible for his false imprisonment to clear his name. The other players are introduced as their classes, though really one or two have actual dialogue here. Nonetheless, I'll get to their backstories in short summaries. The male Dragonborn cleric, Kragan, is looking for an ancient sword that was taken from his church's inventory. Our human warlock, Artemis, is a sworn lover to the goddess of pain, now looking to pass his patron's wishes to others. He makes it clear he speaks like a spoiled rich brat. Mountain dwarf barbarian, Sergius, who speaks like a total Chad and wants to find his lost daughter. Our elfling, homebrew elf with halfling features, Rogue, Sebel, simply wants to find a forever home after losing her village to pillaging. Session 0. We're introducing ourselves as a group.
DM.
You're all meeting for the first time in a tavern. The barmaid is serving drinks and food for a discounted price thanks to a special they're having tonight. What do you all do?
Kragan.
Do I see any capable fighters to join me on my quest?
DM.
You see a man with long blonde locks fiddling with a crystal trapped in his necklace.
Warlock.
A bearded dwarf playing with his lute to entertain the patrons.
Barbarian.
And a halfling clearing the bar for coins.
Rogue.
Then there's a man who's sitting in the window.
Me, the fighter.
The man stands out much like yourself. Red, mid-length hair and a marking under his eye, almost like a bloody tear. He carries around a rapier and seems very preoccupied with his journal. He's dressed like a noble fighter despite having little armor on him. Since you're starting initiative first, what do you do?
Kragan.
I go first to the red-haired man. Pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Kragan, and I am searching for allies to join me on me quest. I couldn't help but notice that you're armed, and figure you're experienced.
Locke, I could be. What is your mission, cleric? Locke could tell what he was based on Kragan's vestments and the cross around his neck. No normal civilian would come into a tavern dressed in pearly whites after all, so no metagaming.
Kragan.
Let me explain. I'm looking for the holy blade known as Rue. It was stolen from our church, and I'm tasked to recover it safely.
Locke, do you know who claimed it?
Kragan.
Not yet, but I feel it's getting close. I need only a party to help me along the way. No man can achieve this strong feat by himself, especially of this caliber.
Locke, I don't do well with fanatics. For context, Locke isn't by any means religious. So far as he knows, he thinks Kragan would try to convert him to the gods he devotes to.
Kragan.
Ah, so you do not believe in the gods? Fair. I won't riddle you with my goddess's beliefs until you're well ready to learn. In any case, I won't riddle you with my goddess's beliefs until you're well and ready to learn. But I need to know your decision. Will you assist me or not?
Locke, I'm in, but in exchange, I'd want your help too. I need to find someone and there's a high chance blood will be spilled. Are you willing to ride that on your shoulders?
Kragan.
It depends. Innocent lives should never be taken by blade. They must be judged within reason.
Locke, promise me, these men aren't innocent, not in my eyes. But you can be the judge of their fate. All I want is answers.
Krogan, very well. Now let's see if we can find some more allies. And apologies, I never caught your name.
Locke, it's Locke. We spend a good chunk of time getting to know everyone and their personal quests before we get to our first combat scenario, outside of the hub against a band of goblins that were planning on rampaging through the city. Artemis does a few tricks here and there, but quickly backs down when the goblin's blood is spilled on his clothes, leaving us to finish the battle ourselves. After that, we end session 0 with us leaving the hub for good to venture on. Time skip. We're getting to session 6. Time skip. We're getting to session 6. At this point, we've claimed the rue and claimed it as the paladin's own after getting a blessing from his church, and we're now focused on my character Locke's questline. We're attacked by mercenaries who have disguised themselves as civilians, and for the sake of high stakes, the DM had it so they're higher levels than us. At this time, we're level 6. The mercenaries are level 14. Yeah, a little overkill, don't you think? During the battle, Krogan is practically dead when one of the mercenaries deals a critical hit to slice his throat. Somehow, myself, Sebel, and Artemis fainted and Sergius 2 days to do anything, then this happens.
DM. Locke. You wake up, chained to the stone walls of a prison. Your arms are restricted so you can't move them, but your feet aren't chained, and you're gagged. Screaming is no use.
A long quiet pause, because I'm clearly uncomfortable with this internally. But externally, I'm like, wait, what? I'm what? Wait, you're not doing this now, are you? Me? I try screaming despite being muffled?
DM. Can you reenact it?
Me? I'm sorry?
DM. Can you make it sound like you're actually gagged, like in real life, so you can be in character?
Me? No?
DM. You have to be in character or you're not playing at all.
Me? To myself? Oh my god, this is actually happening.
DM. You have 30 seconds to play your role or you're gonna get kicked.
Truth of the matter is, I probably should have just left, but in my mind, I felt like I'd be ruining the chance of keeping the friends I'd made by spoiling the fun for them. But my heart said, F this, just quit. And considering the TLDR, you can tell what ends up happening. I go along with it, and learn very quickly that it'd be the worst decision I made in a while. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Look, help, Krogan, Sebel, help me!
DM. The doors to the prison swing open. In comes the man you remember who put you in this situation. He's being guarded by a tall man that stands as tall as a Goliath carrying a very heavy sword. And another is a woman who is likely his advisor, dressed in a spellcaster's robes. The man has his face guarded by his hood, but you can clearly see his face. Seeing this, how does Locke feel?
Me. Locke is visibly confused.
DM, what does he say?
Me. I can't speak. I'm gagged.
DM, you can still move your mouth, dear.
Me to myself. For the love of all that's good. Locke, who are you?
DM. Okay, so the man strips off Locke's gag, leaving a trail of drool down from the ball gag. He then leans in towards Locke and speaks in a fatherly voice to you. BBEG. You've been a bad boy, Locke. Coming all this way and all for nothing. You're gonna die here, and no one can stop it. No one but yourself.
Locke exhaustedly. What do you want?
DM. The man grabs Locke by his chin so that he can force Locke to look at him dead in the eye. BBEG. I want you to suffer. You were a slave then, and you'll always be one to me. Now that you're here, I can finish what I started.
Keep in mind, Locke wasn't a plaything. He was a soldier made to fight the BBEG's battles. Whatever's going on now is something I wasn't prepared for, and something I hoped would end quicker than it started.
DM. Locke, I need you to act submissive.
Okay, we're going that route now. Me. act submissive?
DM. Ugh, you know, call the man master and beg for your life. He's tempted to kill you. The least you can do is try and beg for your life.
Or I can walk away. That's an option too. Me.
DM. I'll give you an example if you want some practice. But remember, you don't have long. I want to hurry the session along.
DM then gives me a not-so-subtle 6-minute clip. A BDSM clip of two men role-playing as slave and master. Not anime yaoi, mind you, but real-life adultering. In the heat of the moment, my brain brings back my trauma from the old game I was a part of where I faced a near-similar situation. Long story short, it was what put me on hiatus from D&D for 3 years. And at this point, I just shut down everything. Me? DM? I'd like to... And I'm not overreacting or stressing this enough. This is the DM legit whining.
DM. No, you have to get into character.
Me. I'm not in character. I'm me. And I want to say this is sick. I'm not doing it.
DM. Why?
Me? Because I told you my past experience and I don't want to relive it. So can we please either retcon this, fade to black or something?
Cleric. Yeah, DM, she's right. You need to cut this out. DM. Shut up. No one's talking to you. And you can't just retcon things in real life, so no. You're a slave now, so get over it. Listen, you can either roleplay as Locke, the submissive, or you're kicked.
Me with a shrug. Then I guess I'm kicked.
DM. Fine.
So I'm kicked. No more words exchanged, no apology, no whining, just kicked. So while I'm in the middle of logging off for the night, I get this little message.
You're no longer allowed in our campaign. You couldn't stick to your character and you were very disorderly. I hereby remove you from our campaign and won't allow you to join my future campaigns. Good day.
Hi there. First off, I want to say that's totally fine. I wasn't interested in joining anyway, but thanks for the potential offer. I'm sorry you don't enjoy my company, but I hope you have a great rest of your week and enjoy your D&D sessions going forward. God bless and goodbye. So yeah, I'm blocked, and the DM is no longer on speaking terms with me. Well, that is until this happened, and it isn't pretty.
BTW, you sounded very convincing when you were gagged. I bet you would sound great IRL if it happened to you. I bet if I did it to you, you'd love it, wouldn't you? I bet you would. But I'm done talking to you. I'm sure you're ignoring me. I hope you choke on a dick. My dick. Bye.
Take care, DM. Smiley face. Anyway, I've made this longer than it should be. Again, I'm not speaking with DM anymore. And I'm happy to say that I've eventually been able to finish Locke's character quest and have moved on to a new character. But let's hope he doesn't have a horror story to tell. Until then, this has been my horror story, and I'm retiring for the night. Have a safe rest of 2024. Either way, one night when I wanted to put the story behind me for good, I did end up telling the party, except Barbarian, since he had logged off at the time, about what the DM said. As it turns out, the DM and Rogue are friends, and she admitted to the DM recording me during the interrogation scene with the BBEG. I asked her to get in touch with DM so he can delete it, but she ended up blocking me too. So yeah, that happened. But again, I'm happy to say I'm trying hard not to let the bad apple stop me from enjoying this hobby again. I'm having fun and doing better, and I'm just glad to have a backbone to let me get away from problem players like this.
Well, that was delightful. I don't really know what's worse, the fact that DM did all of this knowing the past experience that OP had, or the fact that DM recorded the interrogation scene.
That feels like the kind of thing that elevates it from just being a jerk and a that guy to a felony.
Anytime you record somebody, either if you're gaming or doing D&D, that should be consensual. You should be letting people know, hey, just by the way, I'm recording this for whatever reason. Is everybody comfortable with this? Clearly, the DM wasn't being responsible. Clearly, this was some weird fantasy for him, especially given the messages that followed.
Yeah, he was clearly trying to get them to engage in some intimate roleplay without them realizing it, or just hoping they would go along with it, thinking it was part of the game. It's not the kind of thing you should just jump on your players. It's the kind of thing that if you're going to have it in a game, you need to speak to your players first and have everyone agree to that they're comfortable with it. The big point I really can't get over is that the DM actually had the audacity and thought it was okay to send them adult videos of what they wanted them to do.
Yeah, that seems very oddly specific. Like, oh, hey, if you're having problems like with the whole roleplay thing, here's an example for you. You know, just something I found randomly. Like, come on. We all know you had that saved down on your computer and you were just waiting for the moment that you could send that to somebody to like reenact that scene.
Exactly. They clearly had this plan for a while and they did not pull that out of nowhere.
And they clearly pulled it out of OP's previous experiences because OP said that they had told DM about a previous traumatic experience and DM was like, okay, guess we're gonna do that. Like, you was taking notes for things, you know, that you were planning on doing rather than things you shouldn't be doing.
At the end of the day, the lesson here is never use your players to act out your own gratification. Especially when it involves them actually role-playing it and sending them videos of what you want them to do.
And you recording it later for your own gratification.
And don't ever record anyone without their consent, especially when it's adult stuff.
Hey, Hugh.
Yes, man.
Why can't a fallen paladin walk straight?
I don't know, why can't he?
He's out of alignment.
And with that, we have definitely not been two kobolds in a trench coat. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and make the necessary sacrifices to Tiamat. We'll see you next time.